Now in this video, I'm gonna give out my best consoles to worst in order. Starting with the first one. The first one on my list is the PS2. Coming at first. So now apparently I do have one with me right now. So now, apparently, I used to have a big chunky version of the PS2, but now I have the slim version of the PS2. Turn the light on for a sec. Now, this is my favorite because the reason why I love the PS2 Slim, you can easily clean it inside. So this is where the disc goes and whatever. Currently, I like this console a lot because it's one of my favorites, and it is actually my favorite out of the whole PlayStation consoles. So easy to look after because the others that come after a bit more to handle than this one. Apparently that's the PS2 because you can also do a lot more with it. You can add like multi ports and whatever in it. Be able to play with like 4 players and such. So I love this console a lot. Now, apparently, the next one's on the list. Basically the one that comes after. In second place. Would actually be the PS. 3. Now the PS3 is great for backwards compatibility, just like the PS2. It definitely holds some similarities to it because of that mainly. So apparently that is one of my favorites. So apparently it does play old games and whatever, like ones, twos, music and whatever, just like the two does. And now apparently it's not overall my top favorite because it does have issues with it. Now the issues that the PS3 has is a heating issue. Mainly it overheats and it makes loud noises. And eventually it does break in the end. It did happen with mine when I went on holiday once, and I came back and it just stopped working. So the next one on the list is the in the third option would be the PS one. Now the PS1 is a great console for old games, but yeah, even though it's old, it's still classes my top 3 favorites because it plays PS1 games and whatever, and it's easy to clean. So that is basically my third one. Now, for my fourth one would be the PS4. It doesn't have backwards compatibility like some of the others do, and now apparently it's well, mainly that's because it's not one of my favorites now because PS4 just doesn't have what the others had. So apparently that's why it comes out and it's hard to clean mainly because I always have to take it to the shop to get clean, which is a huge pain I think. So yeah, and you apparently can't play old discs because it has no backwards compatibility or whatever. It's a good design though for a PS4. Sticking close to how a PlayStation would look. Now the one in my fifth list would be which is basically the end of the list. Is none other than the PS5. Yeah. the PS5 is the bottom of the list that I really, really hate. Even though I haven't tried it, I've been hearing reviews about it, and it's bad. A lot of people have issues with the PS5. Mainly the only reason I didn't go for the PS5 was because I didn't like the look, which was one, and I didn't want to make the same mistake like I did with the PS4, where it had no backwards compatibility, and then basically the first thing that came to my mind was, well, if it doesn't have that, then I'm not wasting my money on the PS5. Also, it could have issues. It does not support VR at all, meaning you have to use your PS4 version for that, mainly. Um, so apparently, it does have a lot of issues, from what I've heard. So I also don't like it that it looks like a router. The 5, in other words. I just don't like the color. Also, that as well. It also doesn't have some features that the 4 has, which is a good thing why I didn't get it in the first place. And any upper versions that looks completely hideous, like that one, but worse, I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't chance my money. I would just focus on the old consoles for now, until something happens, maybe like Microsoft takes over Sony and then makes a better console to do with that, and then if they basically impress everybody with that type of console, that would inspire everyone, then everyone would be happy to think, okay, yeah, this is better than the 5. Now, apparently, I would actually play the long waiting game until then, so yeah, so apparently, so it depends on if it does better. So if it has best ability, then it's definitely one of my favorites of my list. So apparently that's basically my favorites in order to worst, up to now. So so apparently that is my last on my list. That's what I think of each console, from best to worst. So and my opinions on why I despise some of them, why I basically love most of them. And basically that's about it. It's like with the 4, I don't exactly hate it that much. I do like it more than the 5, because of the design, like I said. Um, Even though it has no compatibility, it's like I'm okay with it. It's not actually my top 3 favorites, because of that. So yeah, so anyway, that's the reasons on basically the on my thoughts about the PlayStation consoles, what I basically like and what to dislike about them. So yeah, so apparently that's it. So